Have you ever felt it? That quiet, undeniable friction when you walk into a room, a sudden stillness, voices lower, eyes turn, not in admiration, but in calculation, in a strange, uneasy assessment. Have you ever sensed that your simple, silent presence is a question that others are not prepared to answer? We are told this is charisma, or magnetism, or, in the language of the modern mystics, a powerful aura. It is none of those. It is gravity, the simple, unadorned, unshakable weight of a mind at peace with itself. And this is the great counterintuitive promise of applied philosophy, not to gain a theatrical power over others, but to achieve a total and unshakable power over the only thing that ever truly matters. What you are sensing isn't a mystical field, it is coherence. It is the tangible result of a life lived in alignment, not with a cosmic energy, but with reason. When your inner world is in order, your outer presence reflects that order. And in a world defined by internal chaos, that order, that stillness, can feel like a judgment. It can be deeply, profoundly unsettling. Today, we will not explore 13 signs. We will explore the source. We will dismantle the popular passive idea of an aura and replace it with the active, disciplined construction of character. We will examine why this coherence is so rare and why it acts as a mirror to the world. By the end of our time together, you will understand how this gravity is built, brick by brick, in the forge of your daily choices. And we will discover the one external thing that seems to define you, even though you cannot control it, and the Stoic secret to mastering it completely. Before we begin this work, let us be clear. This is a philosophical exploration. It is not medical advice, therapy, or a substitute for professional counsel. The ideas of the ancient Stoics, of Marcus Aurelius, of Epictetus, of Seneca, are tools for self-reflection. They are a map. You must walk the territory, use these ideas to question, to reflect, and to build, but seek qualified guidance for your personal circumstances. The modern world is obsessed with presence. It coaches you on power poses, on how to take up space, on how to project confidence. This is all architecture with no foundation. It is a painted backdrop of a fortress. The moment a real challenge arrives, a real fear, a real loss, the canvas rips, and the illusion of power evaporates. The disturbance this kind of person causes is the disturbance of chaos. It is the frantic, brittle energy of an actor who has forgotten their lines. It is loud, but it is not heavy. The presence we are discussing today is the opposite. It is not a performance. It is the result of no longer needing to perform. Let us begin with the first principle. The ancient Stoics, particularly the freed slave Epictetus, built their entire system on a single surgical distinction, the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us, most are not. What is up to us? Only our prohairesis, our faculty of choice, our judgments, our assents, the meaning we assign to events. What is not up to us? Everything else. Your body, your health, your wealth, your reputation, and crucially, what other people think, feel, or do. The aura that the source material describes is simply what the world sees when it looks at someone who has truly internalized this distinction. This person is not trying to be intimidating. In fact, they are often the most peaceful, even quiet individuals in the room. But in a society where nearly everyone is a slave to their impressions, desperate for approval, terrified of criticism, hijacked by anger, undone by fear, the free person is a living confrontation. Their power is not an action, but a refusal. It is the refusal to be bestopped. Their tranquility is the real thing, and it makes the performed tranquility of others look like a cheap costume. This is the disturbance. Consider the idea that your presence precedes you. This is not a psychic phenomenon. It is reputation. But it's a specific kind of reputation. It is the reputation for coherence. People feel your energy before you arrive because they have learned that you are consistent. You are not one person in the boardroom and another at home. You are not one person in victory and another in defeat. Your inner truth and your outer presence are aligned. This consistency, this integrity, from the root integer, meaning whole or complete, is so rare that it feels like a force of nature. It's not loud. It is, as the source notes, impossible to ignore. This brings us to the central metaphor, the mirror. The source claims you're a mirror for other people's shadows. This is the most critical insight, but it must be framed correctly. The Stoic Prohairesis, the one making progress, is not trying to be a mirror. A mirror has no intention. It does not judge. It does not condemn. It simply reflects accurately and dispassionately. What is? When a person who is living in avoidance, who has buried their fears, their envy, their regrets, encounters you, they see their own disorder reflected in your order. Your calm does not create their anxiety. It reveals it. Your authenticity doesn't cause their discomfort. It illuminates the cost of their own masks. They are not reacting to you. They are reacting to themselves. This is why, as the source suggests, you make people expand or retreat. For the person who is ready to grow, your presence is a source of courage. They see in you a possibility. If this person can be this solid, they think, perhaps I can be too. But for the one clinging to their illusions, your presence feels, as the source says, invasive. You haven't done anything. You have simply been, and your being raises the unspoken, terrifying question, what have I been pretending to be? This is why you intimidate without intending to. Your apatheia, not apathy, but a state of freedom from irrational passions, is misinterpreted. They project their own inner world onto you. They see your calm and call it coldness. They see your clarity and call it arrogance. They see your self-possession and call it a threat. What they are really saying is, your discipline reveals my lack of it. Your peace highlights my chaos, and I do not want to see it. A student once asked the philosopher Epictetus how to deal with such people. His answer was surgical. When someone blames you or hates you, go to their hegemonicon, their ruling faculty. See what kind of people they are. You will not find any reason to be anxious that they should have this or that opinion of you. Your job is not to absorb their projections. Your job is not to dim your light to make them comfortable in their shadows. Your job is to remain centered, to not assent to their judgment of you, to see their reaction for what it is, their business, not yours. This is not a personal failure. It is, as the source notes, confirmation. Let's examine a life. Let's call him Marcus, not the emperor, but a modern man, a composite of so many I have seen. Marcus was a leader, a vice president at a competitive firm. He was the very picture of power. When he walked into a room, The energy did shift. People fell silent. They straightened up. He was charismatic, sharp, and deeply intimidating. He believed his aura was potent, but his power was built on a foundation of sand. It was built entirely on externals. The fear he inspired, the praise he received, the quarterly numbers he delivered, the title on his door. His presence was pure performance. Then the inevitable happened, a market downturn, a strategic bet that failed, a corporate restructuring. The externals vanished. The title was gone. The praise turned to blame. The fear he inspired turned to contempt. And Marcus collapsed. His power was a hollow shell. The man who had shifted rooms was now a ghost, haunting his own home. He had no inner fortress. His judgments were chaotic. I am a failure. My life is over. I am nothing without their approval. His disturbance was the disturbance of chaos. This is the opposite of the presence we are discussing. Now contrast this with the Stoic framework. The source claims you shift the energy of a room. This is a subtle but profound error. It violates the dichotomy of control. You cannot control the energy in a room. That is an external, comprised of the judgments and emotions of other people. Here is what actually happens. You, the prohairesis, enter the room as a stable element in a volatile system. You are the stone dropped into the churning pond. You are not the ripples. The pond reacts to you. Your coherence, your gravity, becomes an anchor point. The chaos doesn't vanish, but it now has a center to organize around. This is why your silence speaks loudly. It's not an aggressive, performative silence. It is the silence of attention. In a world where everyone is waiting for their turn to speak, to react, your attentive stillness is a radical act. You are not judging. You are observing. You are not reacting. You are listening. This attentive presence creates a vacuum of safety. And this is precisely why people confess to you easily. The source is correct. Strangers tell you their life stories. They do this because your aura, your character, communicates acceptance. You are not listening in order to fix them, an external. You're not listening to judge them. You're simply holding space, secure in your own fortress, and therefore you have the capacity to hold, as the source says, without being overwhelmed. You radiate a silent permission. You can be real here, because you are real. This too can be unsettling. To the person who wants you to react, who needs your outrage or your pity to validate their own drama, your calm apatheia will feel like a denial. Again, this is their judgment, not your responsibility. This connects to another supposed sign that small talk drains you. Let us be precise. It is not the talk that drains you. It is the dishonesty. The ancient Stoics revered logos, reason, truth, meaningful speech. Small talk, in the sense of filling silence, is often a fabric of unexamined impressions, reflexive complaints, and polite falsehoods. To the person building a life of coherence, this is not merely boring, it is dissonant. It's like listening to an orchestra where every instrument is out of tune. You withdraw not because you are antisocial, but because you are aligned. You are protecting your hegemonicon, your ruling faculty, from absorbing and assenting to false notes. Your energy is built for depth, as the source puts it, because reason is deep. So, how is this gravity built? The source states this aura was forged in the fire of experience. This is true, but incomplete. Many people are burned by the fire. They become brittle, bitter, and reactive. The fire alone does not forge coherence. The difference is choice. The fire is the event. The forging is the judgment you apply to it. The Stoic does not wait for the fire. The Stoic lights the forge themselves. This is the practice of ascesis, disciplined voluntary training. Let's meet Sarah. Sarah was, by all accounts, a good person, deeply empathetic. She felt everything. She identified with the source's idea that animals, children, and nature respond instinctively to you. She saw this as a sign of her powerful energy. But in reality, she had no boundaries. Her aura was a sponge. Her awakening came from a hard lesson. A close friend was going through a traumatic, messy divorce. Sarah, true to form, dove in. She absorbed her friend's pain, her anger, her grief. She made it her own. Her judgment was, if I don't fix this, I am a bad friend. Her pain is my pain. I must carry it for her. The result was not healing. It was pathology. Sarah burned out. She became anxious, depressed, and resentful. Her empathy had become a passion in the Stoic sense, an overwhelming, irrational emotion that hijacked her reason. She had utterly failed the dichotomy of control. She was trying to carry a burden that was not hers to carry. Her awakening was the slow, painful realization that she was useless to her friend in this state. She could not offer a fortress to a friend in a storm because she was the storm. She had to learn to build her own fortress first. She learned, through brutal practice, to distinguish sympathy, feeling with, from apatheia, being undisturbed by. She learned that her real duty was not to carry her friend's burden, an external, but to manage her own response, an internal, so that she could offer her friend real support, a calm mind, a rational perspective, and an unshakable presence. Her presence became powerful only when it became stable. This is the fire the Source speaks of. It is not just what happens to you, it is the work you do with it. It is the symbolic deaths of your old, unexamined judgments. The person of gravity doesn't aglow because they've never known darkness. They glow, as the Source beautifully puts it, because you've made peace with it. This is amor fati, the love of fate. It is the understanding that every event, good or bad, is grist for the mill. It is an opportunity to practice virtue. This cultivated freedom is perhaps the most unsettling sign of all. The Source notes that your freedom both inspires and irritates. Let's be very clear about what this freedom is. It is not political freedom. It is not living unapologetically in the modern sense of impulsive self-indulgence. It is prohairesis. It is the inner freedom of choice. When you have trained your mind, you are free from the need for approval. You are free from the fear of insult. You are free from the compulsion to react in anger. You are free from the prison of what if. To a person still in chains, a person enslaved to their impressions, I must have that promotion. I need them to like me. He made me angry. Your freedom is a terrifying mirror. It suggests that their chains are, in fact, voluntary. Your life becomes an unspoken confrontation. You don't say, you could be free too. Your existence says it. And for the person not ready to do the work, the easiest response is not inspiration. It is irritation. It is envy. It is withdrawal. They will call you arrogant or strange. They will try to pull you back into the drama. They will bait you. And when you fail to be baited, when you meet their projection with calm disinterest, that is the moment of maximum disturbance. You have proven their powerlessness over you. This leads us to the loop I opened at the very beginning, the one external thing that defines you, that you cannot control, yet must master. That thing is your reputation. It is the sum of all these projections. It is the disturbance you cause. It is what people say about you when you leave the room. And the source is right. Your absence is felt as deeply as your presence. When your coherence leaves, the room feels the loss of its anchor. The imprint of your genuine presence remains. You cannot control this imprint. You cannot manage this reputation. It is an indifferent. So how then do you master it? You master it by letting it go. You master it by indifference. You re-anchor your entire sense of self away from that external aura and into the only place it belongs, the quality of your choices. Your power is not that people are intimidated by you. Your power is not that they confess to you. Your power is not that they miss you when you're gone. Your power is that it does not matter to your internal peace what they think. That is the gravity. That is the freedom that irritates. That is the coherence that forged in fire. Let us return to Marcus, the fallen executive. His story did not end in that hollowed-out room. His downfall was total, and from that bottom, he had only two choices: permanent bitterness or work. He encountered these ideas not as a list of signs to aspire to, but as a manual for construction. He did not try to build a powerful aura. He started by trying to lay one single well-formed brick. His ascesis, his training, was brutal in its simplicity. He would wake up and the impression, fantasia, would hit him. I am a failure. My career is over. I've lost everything. In the past, he would have assented to this immediately. It would have become his reality. Now he practiced the pause. He would stop. He would examine up the impression, as Epictetus taught. Is this in my control? His judgment became his work. My past career is not in my control. My reputation as a failure is not in my control. What's in my control? My response to this memory, my choice to get out of bed, my attitude toward what happened, my decision to learn from this, to apply for a new job, to be a good father today. He did this every day. He practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. He would sit and imagine the next thing that could go wrong, a rejection letter, a condescending interview. He did this not to be morbid, but to rehearse his response, to decide in advance that he would meet it with virtue, not with passion. He practiced voluntary discomfort, as Seneca advised. He lived simply. He ate basic food for a week. He proved to his own mind, I can endure this. My fear of poverty was infinitely worse than the reality of it. Years passed. The Marcus of today is unrecognizable. He is not a high-flying executive. He runs a small, quiet consulting practice. He is not intimidating. He is solid. He listens. He doesn't try to be powerful. He just is. And here is the strange part. He still disturbs people. His old colleagues, the ones still playing the old game, find him baffling. He doesn't respond to gossip. He can't be baited into anger. He doesn't compete for status. He simply does his work, does it well, and goes home to his family. This is the intimidation the source speaks of. It is the profound, unsettling coherence of a man who has built his fortress brick by painful brick. His intuition, which the source mentions, is not a psychic gift. It is attentiveness. Because he is not drowning in his own emotional chaos, he can clearly see the real energy of a situation. He can sense dishonesty, as the source notes, not because he reads vibrations, but because he listens to what is said, watches what is done, and sees the incoherence between the two. He is simply paying attention. The source video lists 13 signs, but they are all symptoms. They are the shadow cast by a single object, a mind that has done the work. That work is not mystical. It is not about energy fields. It is about choice. It is about the daily, grinding, and glorious work of examining your judgments. If you have stayed with me this far, it is likely because something in this description of coherence echoed something real in you. If you find yourself in these descriptions, if your silence feels loud, if you are a mirror for shadows, if your very presence seems to unsettle, do not take it as a sign of your power over others. That is the path of the ego. That is Marcus 1.0. Instead, take it as a sign of the responsibility you have for yourself. Your task is not to manage their disturbance. Your task is to maintain your fortress, to ensure your calm is real, not a performance, to ensure your gravity is the result of substance, not style, to ensure your aura is nothing more or less than the light of your own reason shining steadily. This is the goal, not to disturb others, but to become undisturbable yourself. And here is the one thought to carry with you. When the world reacts to your stillness, remind yourself, my peace is not a weapon, it is a shield. And in a world of chaos, a shield can look like a threat. Building this inner fortress is the first essential step, but the fortress is not a prison. It is not a place to hide. It is a base of operations. From this place of internal order, we can begin to engage with the world more deliberately, more virtuously, and more effectively. From this base, we can learn to use our time, our most precious and fleeting asset, with the same surgical precision. The next chapter in this journey is not just about protecting our mind, but about directing it. It is the mastery of time itself, not as a resource to be managed, but as a life to be lived moment by moment with full assent and clear purpose. That is the Stoic art of memento mori, remembering death, not to fear it, but to value life. And that is the subject for our next reflection.